Good morning, everyone. We often underestimate the true cost of wasted time. It's easy to think that spending an extra hour scrolling through social media or procrastinating on an important task is harmless, but the reality is every second wasted is a second you will never get back. The minutes turn into hours, the hours into days, and before you know it, years have passed and you're still in the same place, wondering why your life hasn't changed. The people who achieve the most in life aren't necessarily more talented or lucky. They simply understand the true value of time. Think about it this way. If someone stole your money, you'd be furious. But when time is stolen from you, whether by distractions, procrastination, or unproductive habits, most people don't even notice. Why? Because time is intangible. You don't see it disappearing in front of your eyes, so it's easy to ignore. But wasted time is far more expensive than wasted money. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they have time, unlimited time, to get things done, chase their dreams, and become who they want to be. But the truth is, none of us know how much time we actually have. Every day wasted is an opportunity lost. Every moment spent on something that doesn't move you forward is a moment that could have been used to create something meaningful, to improve yourself, or to take a step closer to your goals. This is why the most successful people in the world guard their time fiercely. They understand that time is their most valuable asset and they don't waste it on things that don't matter. Take a look at the patterns in your life. Where's your time going? Are you spending hours every day consuming content instead of creating? Are you stuck in a cycle of overthinking instead of taking action? Are you caught up in distractions that have nothing to do with your goals? The reality is, most people are not short on time. They're just spending it on the wrong things. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary success and those who don't isn't about how much time they have. It's about how they use it. Many people waste their time because they lack a sense of urgency. They think they have time to figure things out, to start that business, to work on themselves, to fix their relationships. But they keep putting things off, waiting for the perfect moment. The problem is, that moment never comes. The only time you have is now. You either take action today or you stay stuck. There is a reason why some people make massive progress in a short period while others remain in the same place for years. The ones who move forward are the ones who stop making excuses and start making changes. They stop telling themselves they have time and start acting as if time is running out, because it is. When you start treating time as your most precious resource, you'll realize that every second counts. And once you understand that, you'll never waste another moment again. Distractions are everywhere. We live in a world that constantly fights for our attention. Social media, endless notifications, meaningless conversations, and mindless entertainment are all designed to steal our focus. The problem is, the more distracted we become, the less productive and fulfilled we feel. It's easy to get caught in a cycle where our days are filled with activities that don't actually contribute to our goals, yet we wonder why we're not making progress. If you want to stop wasting time, you need to eliminate distractions and regain control over your attention. The first step is recognizing what's pulling you away from what really matters. How often do you check your phone when you're supposed to be working? How many hours do you spend watching content instead of creating something meaningful? How often do you get lost in endless scrolling only to realize that hours have passed and you've gained nothing from it? Distractions are not just small interruptions, they are thieves that steal your potential. Every time you allow yourself to be distracted, you're delaying your success. One of the biggest culprits of wasted time is digital distractions. Social media is designed to keep you hooked. It's built on algorithms that feed you content to keep you engaged, even when you don't want to be. You might tell yourself you'll check your phone for just 5 minutes, but suddenly an hour has passed. That's how powerful distractions are. They pull you in before you even realize what's happening. The key to breaking free is awareness. You need to become conscious of how much time you're losing to these distractions and make an active effort to cut them out. A powerful way to eliminate distractions is by setting boundaries. If you don't control your environment will control you. If your phone is constantly within reach, you'll be tempted to check it. If your workspace is cluttered, your mind will feel cluttered. If you don't set limits on your social media use, it will consume more of your time than you intend. The most successful people in the world are not more disciplined because they have more willpower. They are disciplined because they create systems that make distractions less accessible. They remove the temptation before it can even become a problem. One effective strategy is time blocking. Set dedicated time for deep work, free from distractions. Put your phone on airplane mode, close unnecessary tabs, and focus on one task at a time. Multitasking is a myth. It doesn't make you more productive. It only makes you more distracted. The human brain is not designed to focus on multiple complex tasks at once. When you try to do too many things at the same time, you end up doing everything poorly. Focus is a skill, and like any skill, it needs to be trained. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. You can continue allowing distractions to run your life, or you can take control and use your time wisely. When you eliminate distractions, you free up space for the things that truly matter. You start moving forward instead of staying stuck. And once you experience the power of uninterrupted focus, you'll never allow distractions to steal your time again.
Procrastination is one of the biggest ways people waste time. It's not just about being lazy or avoiding work. It's a deeper psychological pattern that keeps people stuck. When you procrastinate, you tell yourself that you'll do something later. But later never really comes. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and before you know it, you've made no progress. The truth is, procrastination is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken, but only if you take action. The problem with procrastination is that it tricks you into thinking that delaying something will make it easier to handle later. But in reality, the more you delay, the harder it becomes. That project you keep putting off, that conversation you need to have, that goal you keep saying you'll start next week. Every time you push it back, you're increasing the mental weight of it. The longer you wait, the bigger and scarier it seems. That's why highly successful people don't wait for the perfect time. They start, even when they don't feel ready. One of the most common reasons people procrastinate is fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of not being good enough. It's easier to put something off than to face the possibility of failing at it. But here's the truth. Failing is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing is never trying. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. What separates them from the rest is that they kept going. They didn't let fear of failure stop them. They used failure as fuel to get better. Another major cause of procrastination is perfectionism. Awesome. Many people don't start because they feel like they have to do everything perfectly from the beginning. But perfection is an illusion. There is no perfect time, perfect plan, or perfect execution. The key is to start where you are and improve as you go. Progress beats perfection every time. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will never begin. To overcome procrastination, you need to change how you think about tasks. Instead of focusing on how big or difficult something seems, break it down into small, manageable steps. When you focus on taking one small action at a time, the task becomes less overwhelming. If you need to write a report, start by writing just one paragraph. If you want to exercise, commit to just 5 minutes. Once you start, momentum takes over, and you find it easier to keep going. Another powerful way to beat procrastination is to hold yourself accountable. When you keep your goals private, it's easy to make excuses. But when you tell someone about your plans or set a deadline, you create pressure to follow through. Having an accountability partner, setting reminders, or even writing down your goals in a visible place can help keep you on track. At the core of it all, beating procrastination comes down to taking action, no matter how small. Once you do, you break the cycle of delay and start building momentum. And when you build momentum, you stop wasting time and start making real progress toward your goals. Distractions are one of the biggest reasons people waste time. In today's world, there are endless things competing for your attention. Social media, emails, notifications, television, and even the people around you. If you don't take control of your focus, distractions will steal your time, energy, and potential. The truth is, every time you get distracted, you lose valuable momentum. And once momentum is lost, it takes much longer to get back on track. The problem with distractions is that they seem harmless. Checking your phone for just a minute turns into 30 minutes. Watching one episode of a show becomes an entire evening gone. Every little distraction adds up, taking away time that could have been spent on something meaningful. And the worst part, most distractions are designed to keep you hooked. Social media platforms, streaming services, and even emails are structured in a way that keeps you coming back for more. The more you engage, the harder it is to break free. The first step in overcoming distractions is recognizing them. What are the things that constantly pull you away from your priorities? Is it your phone? Is it the internet? Is it unnecessary conversations? Once you identify your main distractions, you can create strategies to minimize them. One effective strategy is setting boundaries. For example, if your phone is your biggest distraction, put it on silent mode or leave it in another room when you're working. If social media is taking up too much of your time, set app limits or use website blockers. Small changes like these can make a huge difference in your ability to stay focused. Another important step is creating an environment that supports focus. If your workspace is full of clutter and distractions, your mind will feel just as chaotic. A clean and organized environment makes it easier to concentrate. Additionally, setting designated work times can help train your brain to focus. When you know that a specific time is for deep work, it becomes easier to resist distractions. One of the biggest reasons people fall into distractions is boredom. When a task feels too difficult, boring, or overwhelming, the mind naturally seeks an escape. That's why so many people turn to their phones or social media when they're supposed to be working. To combat this, try using time management techniques like the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. This method keeps your brain engaged and makes it easier to resist distractions. Distractions. Another way to fight distractions is by training your mind to be more present. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can help strengthen your ability to focus. When you learn to control your thoughts, you become less reactive to distractions. Instead of automatically picking up your phone or clicking on a new tab, you develop the discipline to stay on task. Ultimately, distractions are everywhere, but they only have power over you if you let them. The ability to focus is a skill that must be developed, and the more you practice eliminating distractions, the more productive and successful you will become. Procrastination is one of the biggest enemies of success. It's the silent killer of dreams, the invisible force that holds people back from achieving their full potential. The problem with procrastination is that it disguises itself as harmless. You tell yourself, "I'll do it later," or "I work better under pressure." And before you know it, hours, days, or even weeks have passed without progress. What makes procrastination so dangerous is that it creates a cycle. The longer you put something off, the harder it becomes to start, and the harder it is to start, the more you avoid it. Most people don't procrastinate because they're lazy. They procrastinate because of fear. A fear of failure, a fear of not being good enough, or even fear of success. They delay taking action because they don't feel ready or because they are overwhelmed by the size of the task ahead. But here's the truth. You will never feel completely ready. If you wait for the perfect moment to start, you'll be waiting forever. The key to overcoming procrastination is to take action, even when you don't feel like it. One of the most effective ways to stop procrastinating is to break your tasks into smaller steps. When you look at a big goal, it can feel impossible to achieve. achieve and possible to achieve. But when you break it down into small, manageable pieces, it becomes much easier to start. For example, if you need to write a report, don't think about writing the whole thing at once. Start by outlining the main points. Then, write one paragraph at a time. Before you know it, you'll have completed the entire report. Another powerful technique is the 5-minute rule. If there's something you've been avoiding, commit to working on it for just 5 minutes. Often, the hardest part of any task is getting started. But once you begin, you realize it's not as difficult as you thought, and you naturally keep going. The 5-minute rule tricks your brain into taking action, and that's often all you need to build momentum. Accountability is another important factor in overcoming procrastination. When you hold yourself accountable, you're more likely to follow through on your commitments. Tell a friend, a mentor, or a colleague about your goals. Having someone check in on your progress can give you the push you need to take action. You can also use accountability tools like planners, to-do lists, or productivity apps to track your progress and stay on top of your tasks. Your environment also plays a big role in whether you procrastinate or take action. If you're surrounded by distractions, it's much easier to put things off. Create a workspace that encourages productivity. Remove distractions, set a timer, and create a routine that signals to your brain that it's time to focus. Most importantly, shift your mindset. Instead of thinking, I have to do this, reframe it as I get to do this. When you view tasks as opportunities rather than burdens, you'll find it easier to take action. The sooner you stop procrastinating, the sooner you'll see results. And once you build the habit of taking action, success will follow. Regret is one of the most painful emotions a person can experience. It's the heavy weight of knowing you could have done something differently, but chose not to. It's the sting of realizing that time has passed, and you can't go back. The truth is, most people don't regret the things they did. They regret the things they didn't do, the chances they didn't take, the opportunities they let slip away, and the time they wasted. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Unlike money, you can't earn more of it. Once it's gone, forever. Yet, many people live as if they have all the time in the world. They tell themselves, I'll do it later, I have plenty of time, or I'll start next year. But the reality is, there is no guarantee of next year, next month, or even tomorrow. The only time you truly have is now. Wasting time doesn't always look like sitting around doing nothing. Sometimes it looks like staying in a job you hate, because you're afraid to make a change. It looks like spending years in a toxic relationship because you're scared to be alone. It looks like avoiding risks, delaying dreams, and settling for less than what you truly want. Every day you waste is a day you can never get back. And one day, you will wish you had done things differently. One of the biggest reasons people waste time is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making mistakes. But fear is an illusion. It's not real. It exists only in your mind, and it disappears the moment you take action. The most successful people in the world aren't fearless. They simply don't let fear control them. They take action despite being afraid. They understand that mistakes and failures are part of the process. If you let fear stop you, you will stay exactly where you are. Another reason people waste time is the belief that they have to be perfect before they start. They think they need to have everything figured out, have all the right skills, and be completely prepared before they take action. But perfectionism is just another form of procrastination. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start. Progress, not perfection, is what leads to success. The key to making the most of your time is to have a clear vision of what you want. If you don't have goals, you will drift through life without direction. You'll spend your time on things that don't matter, and before you know it, years will have passed without real progress. Define your goals, create a plan, and take action every single day. Even small steps, taken consistently, lead to massive results over time. At the end of your life, you won't remember the days you spent scrolling through social media, watching TV, or procrastinating on your dreams. We're procrastinating on your dreams. You will remember the moments you took risks, the times you stepped outside your comfort zone, and the things you accomplished. Stop wasting time. Start living. The clock is ticking, whether you take action or not.